Today we're going to talk about permits and licenses, and specifically how a buyer goes about obtaining those for a business that they would like to acquire, and then also for my sellers, right? We get a lot of questions about how their potential buyer is going to obtain the license or permits that are required from the respective government agencies, right? Wherever those may be, or regardless of what agency that's doing the certifying there. So in general, right, this process looks a little bit different if it's a stock sale or an asset sale. These comments that I'm going to make are going to be address the asset sale kind of split there, because that's the vast majority of small business transactions. So in an asset sale, right, typically the sequence of activities, I want you to think about it in kind of four kind of steps, right? In the first one, right, think about it as the transaction closes. At that point, typically the buyer immediately submits an executed copy of a purchase and sale agreement, right, to the respective government agency for a license or permit. And so you may be thinking, does that mean that the business does not have a permit or license? No. In our purchase and sale agreement that your attorney, right, that the attorneys to the two sides of the deal are going to negotiate, right, and agree upon, there is going to be a clause that exists, right, specifically calling out that the seller is going to maintain or hold the license during that interim period while the buyer obtains their license or get approved for the license transfer immediately after the sale. And that clause is in place. It's a common clause in purchase and sale agreements. That clause is in place to protect a buyer, right, and then address this immediate transition. So the first step is, again, a transaction closes. Step 2, buyer immediately submits an executed copy of the purchase and sale agreement to obtain the required license or permit. 3, the buyer receives the new license. And then 4, at that point, the seller, right, who has already sold the business can then terminate the old license. That is in general how the process works for the vast majority of licenses and permits in the state of Washington. I'm Ryan Hemmert at Washington Business Brokers.